to the Backroad To Indy. With your host, myself, Rowdy Rod Richardson. We have a very, very exciting lineup tonight. On the couch now, we have the Lawrence County lunatic, Dickie Gaines. Dickie, I see you brought a very special person with you tonight. Who is this?
This be Richard P. the third generation driver, I guess.
Richie Paul the Third. Wow, wow, folks, we've had a little mix-up. Say hi to the camera, Richie. There we go. There we go. He's just like his dad, a little shy, But we've had a little change in tonight's festivities. The word was Jonathan Vennard was going to be here tonight. Unfortunately, when we booked him, he was not aware that the Knox County Bridal Bonanza was tonight. They had a cummerbund and a boutonniere special. And his fiancée would not let him miss it. And we understand, Jonathan. We understand. But anyways, it's going to be an exciting night. Let's get started. Now, Dickie, you've had an illustrious career. We all know this. An illustrious career. Now, we know you came after a legend, your father. How was growing up under a legend, tutoring you, the tutelage of a legend? Tell us about it.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it tutoring or not. It's pretty much just tell me everything I did wrong. That's just, that's all I've done since I was, younger than him. All I've ever wanted to do. Never live up to what he has, but I can do is just do what I can and enjoy what we've done. Great.
Now, you're modest because you say, we'll never live up. I mean, am I correct? Your father, the only one to win the Little 500 and the Knoxville Nationals, the only man to ever do it.
That's correct. Yeah, for sure. You're right, Rowdy. He's the only one that ever has done it. And, as far as the way things have gone and the way things are going, he's probably the only one to ever have done it.
Yes. Well, Rowdy does pride himself in knowing his statistics. Now, you talk about everything that your dad's done in the sport. You have, won some big time races. We'll touch on that here in a little bit. But let's just start. How did you get started? Where did the Dickie Gaines career, get its jump off point from? Just let us know about it.
Well, I was actually 24 years old before I ever even set in one. Dad never did want me to drive because he got hurt back in '78, got messed up pretty bad, and he was dead set against it. And I just I scrounged up a little bit of cash and bought me an old '84 Shores car and tires about as hard as your tabletop here, and we went racing up here at Bloomington. That's where it started.
84 Shores at Bloomington.
84 Shores.
You've come a long way. You've come a long way. Now, after that 84 Shores, where did you get your first win at? Was it in that 84 Shores, or did it take you a little bit? Tell us about it.
No, actually I bought a car off of Randy Kinzer, and it was up at Paragon about my second year, I believe. We won one of the races up there, this regular show.
The famed engine builder, Randy Kinzer.
The famed engine builder, yes, sir.
The famed engine builder. An interesting character in his own right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, he says. That's an understatement. Now you got that first win. You get going there. You won some big races. Let's talk about it. What is the biggest race up until this point in your career? I know there's many big ones to come. What is the biggest race you have won personally?
Probably have to be Oskaloosa, my own deal, yeah.
He won $30,000.
What was that, Richie?
He won $30,000.
Richie's happy about it. $30,000 out there at Oskaloosa. Tell us about that. That was an exciting race.
Yeah, it did, it was one of those last lap passes. We've been on both ends of receiving and the fortunate one, but just one of those deals. It was our night. Actually, it was 30 years to the day that Dad had won the Knoxville Nationals in the same fashion when he passed Jan Opperman in '74.
You don't get that type of information anywhere, folks. Right here, Backroads to Indy with Rowdy Rod and Dickie Gaines and Richie Paul here on the couch. Now that's your biggest win. A lot of people remember the run you made in the Hoffman wagon over there in the Million. I know, Rowdy Rod, I was on the fence. up there just cheering. You know, had me a few cocktails that night. I mean, you drove from practically nowhere to the lead, if I remember correct. And then Hod, the wild child himself, got you. But I mean, it was a spirited run. Probably the biggest payday you ever had.
Oh yeah, and even this day, I mean, that's still. I mean, that was $100,000 for third. And,
$100,000 for a man from Mitchell, Indiana, for third place.
What do you think about that?
Wow.
Yeah, you know, we started 15th, took the lead on, I don't know, about around 13th, 14th lap, something like that. And I think I used up too much of my tires there, and towards the end started fading. But yeah, still, you know, ain't bad.
Ain't bad. $100,000 for a night's work. And if I remember correctly, the B main was going on, and Dickie was out prancing around in the stands, hadn't got down there yet. Is Rowdy remembering correctly? I mean, being fashionably late as usual, Dickie Gaines rolling in. You know,
yeah, I'd say you're probably right on that one.
I think I was. I remember this. I remember this. Now, as far as, I mean, those are two big races for you. You've won championships. You know, down at Bloomington, you won a tight battle there at the end of the year this year. I mean, walk us through, as far as championships, which one has meant the most to you? I know you even won something with a wing on it there, you know, years ago, I believe a sprint week or something to that effect. Tell us about it.
You know, it's racing's racing, wing, non-wing, you know, dirt, pavement, doesn't matter. It's, you know, a lot of people don't like dirt. They prefer wing, non-wing. You know, being a racer, you know what it's like. Racing's racing. You know, it's just, I would say Lawrenceburg would probably be the most, you know, one that sets in my memory the most because, you know, we were the first father and son to win championship. Dad won championships back in the late 60s and early 70s. He won 2 or 3 of them there. But that's the one that sticks in my mind the most, is Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg. Now, you speak of your father a lot. We were talking before we came on set. Oh, Richard Paul here, or Richie P. the second, or the third, I'm sorry. The third. You have a ride in the works, is this true? Tell us about it.
Well, I got a mini sprint that I'm getting ready to race next year. I don't think I'm going to be very fast.
Oh, I don't believe it. It's genetic. It's in your blood. It is in your blood. You'll be winning before we know it.
What if I win in my first? If I win in my first race, I'll be very happy.
He says go ahead.
Whack. He just wants to win his first race.
He just wants to win his first race.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure on the mechanic. Is Dad going to be the mechanic?
Yeah, it's looking like it. Unless we get somebody, you know, swindle somebody else into doing it.
Amazing. It always builds relationships between fathers and sons. You know, mechanicking for each other. You know, driver owner type deal. I mean, there's always a lot of yelling, a lot of wrench throwing. But I mean, in the end, you love each other. But you always don't see eye to eye at the track. Did you have any experience like that with your father?
Oh yeah. I'm sure everybody else in the pits heard it. You know, some of our conversations, some of the wrench throwing. But like I said, in the end, you know, you walk away, you both love each other, and you know, it's a tight bond. I mean, there's racing periods of family oriented. You know, I wouldn't trade racing for anything. I wouldn't know what anything else I would be doing other than racing.
Right on. Now we've covered all of these great highlights of your career. I want to talk about a low light that became a highlight down at the Red Clay Bloomington. It was on a start. You're well known to pick up multiple spots there on the start, the first, you know, set of corners. You're always on the hammer. That's why you got the name the Lawrence County Lunatic, because I mean, from the jump street, you are on the hammer. Now, you hopped the wheel. You know, you got airborne. You didn't come back to earth for about an hour. But tell us about it. Walk us through it. What happened?
I don't know. Like I said, I jumped the wheel. I guess I hit the embankment first, and I thought, well, you know, tore a brand new car up, and then I hit again. I was a little worried about myself, and then I caught air. You know, at that point, I thought I was going in the grandstand. I thought I was going to hurt someone, and all of a sudden, the car just stopped. And I opened my eyes. I'm looking at the sky. That wasn't that bad of a ride. At least I'm pointing in the right direction. You know, well, lo and behold, I was hanging from the light pole.
He was hanging from the light pole. Now, how'd they get you down? Did you stay up there? Did you get out? What happened there?
Well, they told me to stay in the car. I was like, no, boys, this ride's over. I'm getting out. You know? And, you know, I wasn't worried. You know, wasn't aware of the 50,000 volts that were going through the power lines at the time. But I went ahead and jumped out, and they ended up getting it down with the backhoe. So.
Getting it down to the
Getting
backhoe.
it down, got it.
I know anybody that was there tonight, Rod personally will never forget you hanging it from the light pole there at Bloomington. Everybody's heart was just in their throats when they saw the car flying, and then did it even tear anything up? I mean, in Dickie Gaines fashion, did you restart the heat race?
No, it actually tore the front end up. We were done at that point. You know, it then, you know, like I said, basically the front axle, and that was about it.
The front axle, and that's about it. It was exciting to watch. It was worth the front axle in my point. I mean, from my point of view, where I was sitting. Now, as far as plans for the future for Dickie Gaines, I know you're not done. I mean, you come from an old school breed that, I mean, most guys years ago, they were just getting in their primes at your age. Now people's, you know, retiring earlier, starting younger. How long do you want to do this?
For as long as I'm able to do it, you know. As long as I have a ride, you know, I don't have much to look forward to for next year.
How long do you want to do it, Richie?
Until my car gets crashed and falling new until I get older.
Spoken like a true driver. Until my car's crashed and Dad buys me a new one. I like it. I like it. Now, you're driving the 21X for Daryl Tate. Daryl stopped by down here at the shop the other night after the show. I mean, the next morning there. Saw the aftermath of the Rowdy Rod show. I believe he was physically and mentally disturbed on the scene. But how is it driving for Daryl? Tell us about it. You know, how does that deal work? Let us know.
Well, I've had a few of those. You know, he's been disturbed by a few of my moves, I guess, too, as well. We don't know what's going on for next year, to be honest with you. We just have to wait and see if Dan's going to jump on board. And, you know, it's an expensive sport, and we're going to have to have some backing before we can make a decision what we're going to do for next year.
Great. I hope you find the backing. I hope Dan jumps on board. I hope Dan's watching this up there, you know, slinging drywall or whatever he's doing tonight. You know, eating Popeye's fried chicken. That's an old sponsor of Dickie Gaines. Popeye's chicken and biscuits. Where's that cat at? You know, bring him out of the woodwork.
I've been working on him, man. His, you know, pumping and dry well. He's having it rough just like everyone else. You know, the way the economy is, it's affecting everybody.
Oh, I don't believe it. Everybody loves their chicken and biscuits. If anybody likes their chicken and biscuits as much as Rowdy Rod, I mean, business is good down there at Popeye's. Chicken and biscuits. I mean, he needs to be giving the show money as much press as he's getting here. Now, as far as you're going to do it for as long as you can, is there anything you'd like to, you know, tell the fans about Dickie Gaines that we don't already know? You know, maybe, you know, not that you're misunderstood or anything, but to tell the people something, you know, about yourself that they may not know.
Nothing that can be told.
Nothing that can be told. That is the truth if I've ever heard it here on the show, folks. Dickie Gaines, I thank you and Richie for being on the show. It has been just a wonderful interview. Now, is there anything else you'd like to say, Richie, before we go?
I like to smile.
He likes to smile. Folks, give him a round of applause.